My fiance's family said, "Our golden child needs a prenup to protect what's ours." Until they found out I made twice what he did. The announcement came at Sunday dinner. His mother cleared her throat like she was about to give a speech. "We need to discuss the prenup," she said, sliding a folder across the table. "Nothing personal, dear. Just protecting what our family has built." I nodded and kept eating my roast chicken. My fiancé Trevor squeezed my hand under the table, his face apologetic. "Mom, can we not do this now?" "The wedding is in 4 months," his father cut in. "This needs to be settled." I'd been with Trevor for 3 years. I'd watched his family treat him like he walked on water. His mother still cut his meat at 32. His father called him the golden boy who worked in the family construction company making $67,000 a year. They assumed I was some broke teacher clinging to their fortune. To be fair, I'd never corrected them. I wore simple clothes, drove a 10-year-old Toyota, and lived in a modest apartment. Meanwhile, they lived in a sprawling McMansion they loved showing off. "I'll have my lawyer look it over," I said simply. His mother's smile was tight. "Oh, you have a lawyer?" "For work stuff," I replied. Trevor shifted uncomfortably. He knew what I did. His family didn't, because they'd never bothered asking. The prenup arrived 2 days later. 17 pages protecting the family assets, the business, the vacation home. It stated clearly that in divorce, I'd get nothing. They'd listed my occupation as elementary school teacher. Estimated income $45,000. I called my attorney. We had a long conversation. Then I did something petty. I had him draft a counter prenup. Next Sunday, I arrived early carrying my own folder. When everyone sat down, I slid it across to Trevor's mother. "I had my lawyer review your prenup," I said sweetly. "He suggested revisions." She opened it. Then her face went white. "What is this?" she stammered. Trevor's father grabbed the papers. His jaw dropped. "This says you make $340,000 a year. $347,000 actually," I corrected. "I got a raise last month. I'm a senior software architect. I design security systems for financial institutions." The table went silent. "That can't be right," his mother whispered. I pulled out my phone, opened my banking app, and showed them my last paycheck. 14 and 450 years. 33 after taxes. Deposited every 2 weeks. Trevor's face was bright red. His younger brother started laughing, then stopped when their mother glared. "So actually," I continued, "my lawyer thinks we should protect my assets. The prenup I drafted ensures that in divorce, Trevor gets nothing from my stock options, my investment portfolio, or my trust fund." "Trust fund?" his father choked out. "From my grandfather. Medical device patent, worth about $2.3 million currently." Trevor's mother looked faint. "Why didn't you tell us?" "You never asked," I said simply. "You assumed I needed your son's money." I stood up. "I'm not signing your prenup, but if Trevor wants to marry me, he'll sign mine." The room erupted. His mother started crying. His father demanded proof. Trevor sat frozen. I walked to the door, then turned back. "Oh, and one more thing. I'm buying us a house. Down payment is approved. Trevor's name won't be on it unless he signs the prenup first." I left them in shock. Trevor showed up at my apartment 3 hours later. I could hear voices outside. His whole family had come. They were arguing on my doorstep. I watched through the peephole as his mother coached him on what to say. That's when I realized something that made my blood run cold. Trevor wasn't embarrassed by their behavior. He was taking notes. Actual notes on his phone as his mother spoke. His father was showing him something on a tablet, and Trevor was nodding eagerly. His younger brother stood to the side, arms crossed, looking smug. They weren't here to apologize. They were strategizing. I heard his mother say, "Tell her you're upset with us. Say we went too far. Make her feel like you're on her side." Trevor's voice was clear through the door. "What about the house thing?" His father replied, "Once you're married, it doesn't matter whose name is on it. Community property. We'll figure it out." My stomach turned. I pulled out my phone and started recording. Every word, every instruction. "And the prenup?" Trevor asked. His mother's voice turned sharp. "Sign whatever she wants. We'll have it thrown out after the wedding." "Duress? She ambushed you with it at a family dinner. Any lawyer can argue that." I kept recording as they rehearsed his lines, as his father outlined their plan to challenge the prenup's validity, as his mother coached him to cry if necessary. 20 minutes they stood there, planning how to manipulate me, how to access my money, how to ensure that even if we divorced, they'd get a piece of what I'd built. Finally, Trevor took a deep breath. "Okay, I'm ready." He knocked, soft, tentative, the way he knew I liked. I opened the door with my phone still recording in my pocket. The rest of his family had disappeared around the corner, but I could see his mother's shoe peeking out. "Hey," he said, his eyes red. "Can we talk?" The tears looked real. If I hadn't heard everything, I would have believed them. "Sure," I said. I didn't move aside to let him in. "I'm so sorry about my family," he started, right on script. "They went way too far. I had no idea they were going to blindside you like that." "Didn't you?" I asked. He blinked. "What?" "You knew what I did for a living, Trevor. You knew how much I made. We've been together 3 years. I never told them because I thought you wanted to keep it private," he said quickly. "I was respecting your privacy." "Or you were hoping to surprise them after the wedding," I said, "when it would be too late for them to protect their precious assets." His face shifted, just slightly, but I saw it. The calculation. "That's not fair," he said. "I love you. This isn't about money." "Then why didn't you defend me when your mother called me dear in that condescending tone for 3 years? Why didn't you correct them when they assumed I was a teacher?" "I didn't think it mattered. It mattered enough for you to come here with your whole family coaching you on what to say." He froze. "What are you talking about?" I pulled out my phone and played the recording. His face drained of color as his mother's voice filled the hallway. "Tell her you're upset with us. Say we went too far." When it got to the part about challenging the prenup, Trevor started backing up. "I can explain," he stammered. "I'm sure you can," I said. but I'm not interested in hearing it. His mother appeared from around the corner. You recorded us? That's illegal. Actually, in this state, only one party needs to consent to a recording, I said. I consent, and this is my property. You're trespassing. His father pushed forward. Now wait just a minute. No, I cut him off. You wait. I'm going to make this very simple. Trevor, we're done. The engagement is off. You can keep the ring, I don't want it. Trevor's eyes went wide. You can't just... I can. I am. And if any of you come near me or my property again, I'll file for a restraining order. I'll also send this recording to every single person on our wedding guest list with an explanation of why the wedding is canceled. His mother went pale. You wouldn't dare. Try me, I said. I'm a software architect. I can have an email drafted and sent to 300 people in about 10 minutes. I can create a website. I can make sure everyone you know hears exactly how you plan to manipulate me out of my money. We weren't, his father started. You were, I said flatly. Now leave, all of you. Trevor grabbed my arm. Please, we can work this out. I love you. I looked down at his hand on my arm. Then I looked him in the eye. Let go. Something in my voice made him drop his hand. If I were you, I said quietly, I'd be more worried about explaining to your groomsmen why the wedding is canceled. Good luck with that. I stepped back and closed the door. Through the peephole, I watched them stand there in shock. His mother looked like she might faint. His father was red-faced, furious. Trevor just stared at my door. Finally, his brother said, well, that went well. His father grabbed him by the collar. Shut up. They left. I waited until their car pulled away. Then I called my lawyer. I need you to do 3 things, I said. First, send a cease and desist letter to Trevor and his family. Second, I need you to expedite the house purchase and get me moved in this week. Third, I need you to prepare a lawsuit for fraud and emotional distress, but don't file it yet. I want them to know it's coming. My lawyer was quiet for a moment. What happened? I sent him the recording. He listened to the whole thing. Then he said, I'll have everything ready by tomorrow morning. The next day, I called in sick to work. I spent the morning packing my apartment. By noon, my lawyer had sent the cease and desist. By 2 p.m., Trevor's father called my lawyer, threatening legal action for defamation. My lawyer sent them the recording. They shut up pretty quickly after that. By Friday, I closed on the house. A beautiful 4-bedroom colonial with a fenced yard and a home office. I'd been eyeing it for months. The owners were motivated sellers, and my offer was all cash from my trust fund. I paid movers to handle everything. By Sunday, I was completely settled in. Monday morning, I got a call from Trevor's mother. We need to talk, she said, her voice shaking. Please, just hear me out. I have nothing to say to you, I replied. I know we messed up. I know we were wrong, but Trevor is devastated. He's barely eating. He really does love you. He loves my money. That's not true. Yes, we were excited about the financial security, but Trevor genuinely cares about you. He's talked about you for 3 years. He wants to spend his life with you. He had a funny way of showing it. People make mistakes, she said desperately. We got caught up in protecting our family. We were scared. Scared of what? That your golden boy might actually have to sign a fair prenup? She was quiet. Here's the thing, I continued. I grew up with money, real money, the kind where people pretend to love you because of what you can give them. I learned to spot it early. I thought Trevor was different. I thought he loved me for me. He does. He doesn't. And neither do you. You love what I represent. Financial security, status, a smart daughter-in-law you can brag about now that you know what I do. But for 3 years, you treated me like I was beneath you. Like I was lucky to marry into your family. We were wrong, she whispered. I was wrong. Please give us another chance. No, I said simply. Goodbye. I hung up. She called back 17 times. I blocked her number. Trevor texted me that night. Long paragraphs about how sorry he was, how he'd been stupid, how he wanted to prove himself, how he'd sign any prenup I wanted with no questions asked. I didn't respond. His brother added me on social media with a message. For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing. They're all losing their minds, but you deserve better. I didn't respond to that either. 2 weeks later, I got a Facebook message from Trevor's ex-girlfriend from college. Her name was Beth. I saw on social media that your engagement ended, she wrote. I'm sorry if this is out of line, but I thought you should know something. When Trevor and I were together, the same thing happened. His family loved me when they thought I was a waitress putting myself through school. Then they found out my dad owned a chain of restaurants. The dynamic shifted immediately. His mother got weird and possessive. His father started asking about family business opportunities. Trevor proposed within a month of them finding out. My blood went cold. We broke up because I overheard his mother telling him that marrying me would set him up for life. Beth continued. She said he could always divorce me later and take half. I confronted him and he swore it wasn't like that. But I couldn't shake the feeling that he saw me as a meal ticket. I thought you should know. You seem like a nice person from what I remember. You deserve better. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I called my lawyer again. I need you to look into Trevor's dating history, I said. Every girlfriend for the last 10 years. Names, occupations, how long they dated, why they broke up. Are you sure? He asked. Very sure. It took 3 days. The pattern was unmistakable. Trevor had dated 6 women seriously in the past decade. 4 of them came from money. 1 was a doctor. 1 was an engineer. All of them ended their relationships within 6 months of his family finding out about their finances. The 2 who didn't come from money both broke up with him, citing his mother's interference and his unwillingness to set boundaries. I had been number 7. I compiled everything into a folder. The recording, Beth's message, the dating history, the cease and desist letter. Then I did something petty. I sent it to his mother. With a note, I thought you should know what kind of man you raised. She called immediately, screaming, How dare you? This is slander. We'll sue you for everything you have. Go ahead, I said calmly. I have recordings. I have testimony from multiple women. I have a paper trail. Take me to court. I'd love for a judge to hear exactly how your family operates." She hung up. The next day, Trevor showed up at my new house. I saw him through the window, standing on my porch with flowers. I didn't open the door. He knocked for 10 minutes. Then he left the flowers and a note. The note said, "I know I screwed up. I know my family screwed up. But I love you. I've always loved you. The money doesn't matter. Please, just talk to me." I threw it away, but I kept the flowers. They were beautiful. A week later, I ran into his younger brother at the grocery store. He saw me and immediately walked over. "I know you probably don't want to talk to me," he said, "but I need to tell you something. Trevor's been a mess since you left. He's barely functional. Mom and Dad keep trying to get him to move on, to find someone else, but he's not interested." "That's not my problem," I said. I know you don't owe him anything, but for what it's worth, I think you broke something in him, in a good way. He finally sees what Mom and Dad have been doing, how they've been using him, using all of us." I raised an eyebrow. "Using you how?" He shifted uncomfortably. "Our whole lives, they've been grooming us to make good marriages, to marry people who can help the business, help the family. I've been dating this girl for 2 years. She's a paralegal, makes decent money but nothing crazy. Mom keeps hinting that I could do better, that I should find someone more ambitious. That's messed up," I said. "Yeah." He looked down. "I didn't realize how messed up until I heard that recording. The way they talked about you like you were an investment. It made me sick." "What do you want from me?" I asked. "Nothing," he said quickly. "I just wanted you to know that not everyone in the family is like them, and Trevor might actually be learning that lesson now. Too late, obviously, but still." He left without another word. I thought about that conversation for days. A month after the breakup, my company sent me to a conference in Seattle. I was presenting on cybersecurity protocols for financial institutions. The conference was huge, over 2,000 attendees. On the second day, I ran into someone I hadn't seen in 5 years. David. We'd worked together at my previous job, both junior developers back then. We'd been friends, maybe almost something more, but I'd left for a better opportunity before anything developed. "No way," he said, his face lighting up. "I thought that was you in the presenter lineup, but I couldn't believe it. Senior architect? That's amazing." We grabbed coffee. He'd moved up in the world too, now a team lead at a startup in San Francisco. We talked about work, about the industry, about how much things had changed. He didn't ask about my personal life, didn't pry, just enjoyed the conversation. It was refreshing. On the last day of the conference, we had dinner. He told me about his divorce, finalized 6 months ago. No kids, amicable split, just 2 people who grew apart. I told him about Trevor, the whole story, the prenup, the recording, everything. He listened without judgment. When I finished, he said, "You dodged a bullet." I know. No, I mean really dodged a bullet. That level of manipulation, that's not just his family, that's him. He knew what they were like, and he let it happen. He let them treat you that way for 3 years. "I know," I said again. "You deserve better. Everyone keeps telling me that." "Because it's true," he said simply. We exchanged numbers, promised to stay in touch. I flew home the next day feeling lighter than I had in weeks. 2 months after the breakup, I got a letter from Trevor's lawyer. They were challenging the validity of my recording, claiming I'd entrapped them, demanding I delete all copies and issue a formal apology. My lawyer laughed when I showed him. "Let them try. They were on your property, uninvited, planning to defraud you. Any judge will throw this out." He was right. Their case was dismissed within a week. But the letter told me something important. They were scared. Scared I'd use the recording publicly. Scared their reputation would be ruined. Good. They should be scared. 3 months after the breakup, David called. He was in town for a client meeting. Did I want to grab dinner? We went to a small Italian place downtown, the kind with checkered tablecloths and candles and wine bottles. He ordered wine. I stuck with water. "So," he said after we'd ordered, "I have a confession. I've been thinking about you. A lot." I smiled. "Oh? I know the timing is weird. You just got out of something serious. But I figured life's too short to not be honest. I had a crush on you 5 years ago. I think I still do." I looked at him across the table. David had always been kind, smart, funny. He'd never asked me what I made, never cared about my background, just enjoyed my company. "I'm not ready for anything serious," I said honestly. "I know. I'm not asking for serious. I'm just asking if you'd be interested in seeing where this goes. No pressure, no expectations." I thought about it. Okay, we started slow. Coffee dates, walks in the park, movie nights where we actually watched the movie. He never asked about my money, never pried into my finances. When I told him about the house, he said, "That's great. Can I see it sometime?" I showed him the next week. He walked through every room, genuinely interested in the architecture and the renovations I was planning. "This is amazing," he said. "You have great taste." He didn't ask what it cost, didn't calculate what it meant, just appreciated it. 4 months after the breakup, I saw Trevor at a coffee shop. He was with his mother. They were in line ahead of me, and I froze. His mother saw me first. Her face went pale. Trevor turned. Our eyes met. He looked terrible, like he'd lost 20 pounds. His eyes were hollow. His mother grabbed his arm. "Let's go somewhere else." "No," he said quietly. "It's fine." They got their coffee and sat at a table in the corner. I could feel his eyes on me as I ordered, as I waited, as I left. I didn't look back. That night he texted me. "I saw you today. You looked happy. I'm glad." I didn't respond. 5 months after the breakup, David and I made it official. We changed our relationship status on Facebook, went on a weekend trip to the coast, met each other's friends. He was good, steady, real. Trevor's mother sent me a message on Facebook. "I hope you're happy with your new relationship. I hope he's everything Trevor wasn't." I blocked her. 6 months after the breakup, I got a call from Beth, Trevor's ex. "I heard through the grapevine that you're dating someone new," she said. I wanted to make sure you were okay, that you weren't rushing into anything. I'm good, I said. Really good. Good. You deserve it. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry I didn't reach out sooner. When I saw you two were engaged, I almost said something, but I didn't want to be that crazy ex who ruins someone's happiness. You wouldn't have ruined anything, I said. You would have confirmed what I already suspected. Still, I should have said something. Well, you said something when it mattered. We talked for an hour, compared notes about Trevor's family, laughed about the absurdity of it all. She was seeing someone too. A teacher, making $42,000 a year. Her family loved him. Funny how that works, she said. 7 months after the breakup, Trevor's younger brother called me. I thought you should know, he said. Trevor's in therapy, like serious therapy. He's been going 3 times a week, dealing with his codependency issues with mom and dad. That's good, I said carefully. He wanted me to tell you that he's sorry. Really sorry. He knows he can't fix what he did, but he's trying to fix himself. I appreciate that. He also wanted me to tell you that he's happy you found someone. He saw the pictures on Facebook. He said you look happier than you ever did with him. I didn't know what to say to that. Anyway, his brother continued, I just thought you deserved to know. He's not making excuses anymore. He's owning his stuff. It's actually kind of painful to watch, but it's good. He needed this. Thank you for telling me, I said. And one more thing, I broke up with my girlfriend, the paralegal. Not because mom wanted me to, but because I realized I was staying with her despite mom. That's messed up. So I'm taking a break from dating, figuring out what I actually want. That's really mature, I said. Yeah, well, you kind of showed me what it looks like to have standards. 8 months after the breakup, David met my family. My parents, who had always been quietly wealthy, approved immediately. My dad, a retired engineer, spent 2 hours talking shop with David. My mom asked him about his favorite books. Not once did they ask about his salary, his prospects, his assets. At the end of the night, my mom pulled me aside. He's good. Keep him. I'm trying, I said. 9 months after the breakup, I got a wedding invitation in the mail. Trevor's younger brother was getting married to someone named Rachel. The ceremony was in 2 months. I was surprised to be invited. Then I saw the note included. I know this might be awkward, but Rachel and I would love for you to come. You were a big part of why I made some important changes in my life. Trevor won't be there. He's taking a break from family events while he works on himself. Mom and dad will be there, but I've made it clear they're to leave you alone. No pressure if you don't want to come, but the invitation is genuine. I showed David. What do you think? He shrugged. Up to you. I'll go if you want company, or you can go alone, or not at all. I thought about it for a week. Then I RSVP'd yes +1. The wedding was beautiful. A small ceremony in a garden, maybe 80 people. Trevor's brother looked happy. Rachel was a kindergarten teacher with a bright smile and an easy laugh. Trevor's parents were there. They saw me and David walk in. His mother's face went tight. His father looked away. They didn't approach me. Not once. After the ceremony, Trevor's brother found me at the reception. Thank you for coming. It means a lot. I'm happy for you, I said genuinely. Rachel knows the whole story, by the way. I told her everything before I proposed. I wanted her to know what kind of family she was marrying into. She still said yes. She must really love you. She does. And I really love her. For real. Not because of what she can give me, just because she's her. That's all that matters, I said. He glanced over at his parents, who were watching us from across the room. They're different now. Not great, but different. Quieter. I think losing Trevor as their golden boy messed them up, made them realize they might lose me too if they didn't change. Are they going to therapy? He laughed. God, no. But they're trying, in their own weird way. David and I danced at the reception, ate cake, congratulated the happy couple, left early. In the car, David said, Your ex's family is intense. You have no idea. I'm glad you got out when you did. Me too. 10 months after the breakup, David asked me to move in with him. He had a condo in the city, walking distance to his office. Or I could move in with you, he said quickly. I know you love your house. I'm flexible. Let me think about it, I said. I did think about it. For 2 weeks. The house was mine, my space, my sanctuary after everything with Trevor. But David had never tried to take anything from me, never even asked about the house's value or the title. I'll rent out my house, I decided. Move in with you. But I'm keeping it. Of course, he said. It's yours. We moved in together on a Saturday. My parents helped. His parents flew in from Ohio. Everyone got along. It was shockingly normal. 11 months after the breakup, I got a text from an unknown number. This is Trevor. I got a new phone, new number, part of the fresh start my therapist recommended. I'm not asking you to respond. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. Really, truly, sorry. For all of it. You deserved better. You deserved honesty and respect and a partner who stood up for you. I wasn't that person, but I'm trying to be better. Not for you. I know that ship has sailed. For me. For whoever comes next. For my future kids, God willing. Thank you for the wake-up call. It was brutal, but I needed it. I showed David the text. Are you going to respond? He asked. I don't think so. What would I say? You could say good luck. Or you could say nothing. Both are fine. I thought about it. Then I typed, I'm glad you're doing the work. Good luck with everything. He responded immediately. Thank you. That means more than you know. That was the last time we spoke. 1 year after the breakup, David proposed. We were on a hike at the top of a mountain with a view of the entire valley. He got down on one knee with a simple ring. I'm not great with words, he said, but I love you. I love how smart you are, how kind you are, how you don't take crap from anyone. I want to spend my life with you. Will you marry me? I said yes. We told my parents that night. They cried happy tears. His parents flew in the next day to celebrate. No one mentioned prenups. No one asked about my assets. They just asked when the wedding would be and whether we wanted help planning. We set the date for 8 months out. Small ceremony, close friends and family only. I thought about sending Trevor an announcement, just to twist the knife, but I didn't. It felt unnecessary. David and I were happy. That was enough. 2 months before the wedding, I got a call from Trevor's younger brother. I wasn't sure if I should call, he said, but I thought you'd want to know. Trevor's engaged to his therapist's office manager. They've been dating for 6 months. She's got a kid from a previous marriage, works part-time as a dental hygienist, makes about $35,000 a year. I was quiet. Mom and Dad hate her, he continued. They think Trevor's downgrading. They keep making comments about how she's not ambitious enough, how she's holding him back. How's Trevor handling it? He told them if they can't be respectful, they're not invited to the wedding. Mom cried for 3 days. Dad threatened to cut him off from the family business. Trevor quit and got a job with a competitor. Good for him, I said. I thought so too. Anyway, I just wanted you to know. You kind of started a revolution in our family. Everyone's changing. Even Mom and Dad slowly. They're realizing they can't control everything. That's good to hear. Yeah, and congratulations on your engagement. I saw the announcement. David seems like a good guy. He is. 1 month before the wedding, David and I went to a lawyer's office. Not for a prenup, for estate planning. We want to make sure everything's clear, David explained. What's mine, what's hers, what's ours? The lawyer nodded. Smart, especially with the trust fund in the house. We spent 3 hours going over everything, making sure our assets were protected, making sure we both had legal authority to make decisions for each other, making sure everything was fair. When we left, I felt lighter. That wasn't scary at all, because we're on the same team, David said. We're not trying to screw each other over. Novel concept, I said dryly. He laughed. The wedding day was perfect. Sunny, but not too hot. My dress was simple, elegant. David cried when he saw me. So did my dad. Trevor's younger brother came. He brought Rachel and their baby, born 3 months earlier. They looked happy. Trevor's parents weren't invited. His brother said they understood. We said our vows on the lawn of a small vineyard, promised to love and support each other, to be partners, to build a life together. My lawyer was there, smiling in the back row. I caught his eye and he gave me a thumbs up. After the ceremony, during the reception, Trevor's brother pulled me aside. Trevor wanted me to give you this, he said, handing me an envelope. Don't worry, it's not weird. Just open it when you get a chance. I tucked it into my purse and forgot about it until the honeymoon. David and I went to Greece. 2 weeks of sunshine and ancient ruins and too much wine. On our last night, I remembered the envelope. Inside was a card. On the front was a simple, congratulations. Inside, Trevor had written, I heard you got married. I'm genuinely happy for you. You deserve someone who sees your worth from day one, not someone who had to be hit over the head with it. I'm sorry I wasted 3 years of your life. I'm sorry I let my family treat you that way. I'm sorry for all of it. I hope you have a beautiful life with someone who actually deserves you. All the best, Trevor. I showed David. That's big of him, David said. Yeah, are you okay? I'm perfect, I said honestly. We finished our wine and watched the sunset over the Aegean Sea. I thought about Trevor sometimes, about what might have been if he'd been different, if his family had been different, but mostly I thought about how lucky I was. Lucky to have seen the truth, lucky to have walked away, lucky to have found someone real. The prenup saga had taught me something important. Not everyone who says they love you actually does. Some people love what you represent, what you can give them, the status or security or wealth you bring. Real love is different. Real love is someone who loves you in your old Toyota, in your modest apartment, before they know about the trust fund. Real love is David, who'd never once asked what I was worth, who just knew I was worth everything.